Spirit. It's everywhere. Are we able to communicate with them? What can they teach us? Welcome to Schooled Thru Spirit. Host DeEtte Ranae is a certified psychic medium and master teacher of psychic and mediumship development through LWISSD. DeEtte was born knowing spirit and now is here to help you better understand the spirit world. Now, your host of Schooled Thru Spirit, DeEtte Ranae.
Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Schooled Thru Spirit. I'm your host, DeEtte Ranae, here on WLTKDB.com. This is a show about to explore different people's lives, their journeys, and how spirit has impacted it. Now, each week I do talk to different people of different modalities and how spirit has just impacted it. We also always have a small discussion beforehand of whichever spirit gives me, or I just tend to babble, whichever one comes first. But even when I start babbling, spirit tends to show up. So this morning we have got Kim Pomeroy, and you are going to love Kim. Oh my God, this lady is amazing. I need you all to do a huge shout out. It was her birthday yesterday, and that's birthdays are awesome because they're just about celebrating you, as you already know I feel about. But she also just, opened up a brand new store. And I'm gonna let her tell you all about that. It's a healing center store type thing, and I'll tell you what, she's just a rock star, and you're gonna love her. So, oh my God, this morning, guys, I am all over the place. I'm literally just discombobulated all over the place. This morning, here I am starting ready for the show, and I am and it's funny, and I guess this is what we're going to talk about today, because this is really kind of how I've been for a few days, a few weeks. Ooh, it's been a while. But just this morning, right before the show, it's like I have to do. This was my morning. I have to get up. I have to get one little one ready for the school bus. Oh my God, my internet's not doing good today, guys. Not good. We're gonna see what we can do about that. Probably nothing. So hopefully life is okay. Um, so but with that being said, probably par for course for my life these days. But this morning, got up, had to get a little one ready for school, got that one off to the bus, got back in, of course, getting a shower, getting ready, then putting car seats back together because I didn't do it last night because we tore them apart to wash them, and had to put those back together and had to get two of those. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get in. I got to get on the radio. Oh my gosh, wait a second. I need to get my lighting, the rest of my lighting set up. I mean, I'm waiting until the last second for everything, and just really praying that life is going to happen all at the same time. You know what I mean? Like everything is, and for some reason, I always just feel like, yeah, it's going to happen. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going, hey, let's make this happen. But I'm finding that's what I do with a lot of things in life is I just seem to know, you know, I just seem to know. I always have. And I was telling my story that this last weekend. Um, sorry, I'm sharing this. I'm trying something new this week. Um, I'm trying something new where I'm going to share this to different pages. So I've never done that. I don't know if I'll be able to see everybody's comments or not. But hey, guys, I'm trying. I'm trying something new. So we are going to see what we can do with this, just to see if we can get more people to see, more people all over the place doing this, see what we can do, type of a thing. But anyway, going with that, we're going to do this one more place. Let's do this. You know what? I just put it, if anybody didn't know this, I have online it's called Spiritual Development Cafe. I love my cafe. It is obviously a spiritual community. So, oh my God. Yes, guys. I'm not even thinking this morning. But anyway, it is a spiritual development cafe. And what it really is a place that if imagine going to like a nice Italian outdoor cafe someplace. You have a lot of comfortable, like, cast iron seating, but it's comfortable, it's comfortable. It's a place you wanna go, and there's there's leaves and trees and vines and beautiful flowers and some little birds flying around, and you go there because you have a lot of spiritually like-minded people. Okay, so you're all going there for the same reason, but you're talking about everything and anything spiritual, anything. So we're not just talking mediumship, we're talking anything that is on the playing field. Okay, anything that's on the playing field. So that's anything paranormal, that's anything spiritual. You could be talking about religion. Prefer not getting hot and heavy religion here, guys. But just spiritual, like-minded, easygoing, beautiful conversation. It might be a place that you show up just to kind of watch other people. Maybe you'll learn a little bit. Maybe you want to do some practice reading. Maybe you're medium. Maybe you're beginning medium. Maybe you don't know if maybe you don't know what you're doing. But it's a place that you can go and just really enjoy the like-minded community in a safe atmosphere. So I wanted to share that in there. But you know what? I also want to let you guys know if you want a place like that, feel free to, pop in. It's called Spiritual Development Cafe. Me or one of my admins will get you in. And yeah, we do screen people to get in because we don't want spammers in there. We don't want Joe Blows in there that that don't belong there. My admins are kind of like the bouncers. But feel free to do that. But that's where I'm sharing everything today. I'm sharing it to there in my student community because if you're one of my students, you got your own community too. Like I know my nose is gonna be like all funky this morning again. But getting back, see, I'm squirreling all over the place today. I'm just squirreling. So going back to it, and my with me and myself, and I keep thinking about this. Because I am a person that, and I've been this way my whole life. I don't plan for a lot. I don't watch a clock. I just know in my heart of hearts everything's always going to be okay. Everything is always going to work out the way it needs to be. And and it's weird because if I don't think so, then I ask spirit, you know. And I just know they're going to come through. And I've always been that way. So like this morning, getting back to that, I got the lighting up just before, like I already had one. I needed to get the other one up because I've been complaining about a shadow. Not that anybody else noticed the shadow, but I was noticing it. Excuse me. Drink some tea. But, and even my producer's like, "You're doing that right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got time." He's like, "You got 2 minutes." I'm like, "I got time." You know what I mean? Because I just, in my heart of heart, I know it's all going to be okay. So literally, I got it hooked. I plugged it in, turned it on, adjusted it, and boom, there you go. You know what? On we go. And it just always seems to work out. And you know what? A lot of that happens. And I want to tell you, just we're just going to go past the last few days in my life. And I want you to see if this resembles you too, if this resembles you, because it might. It just might. Because I know some people are like major planners, but for myself, I'm not. It's kind of like it just comes in, I do it and hope for the best. So, like Friday, I was on the way to an event and I was up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Oh my God, I love going to Eau Claire. There's not a place I don't love going to. So, you're going to hear me say that all the time. As you already know, I love. I think I just love life. I love everything about it. Isn't that awesome to say? I love everything about life. Um, but I was on my way up there, and it was so funny because you will hear me, and people will hear me complain because I do. I'm a complainer. I do complain. Everybody does. But I was like, "You know what? I wanna be out the house no later than noon because this is my life. I wanna be out no later than noon. It's gonna take me 3 hours to get there. I'm gonna get there by 3. I'm gonna get to go see my friend Terry Flicks and Danny Loosemore's new shop, that they're just starting to create. I'm gonna be able to get to the event. I'm gonna set everything up. I'm gonna go back to my very nice hotel because I rented. I always stay at the Grand Stay up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, because I have a living room and a kitchen and a hot tub and a bathroom and a separate bedroom, and it's awesome. And I get it for a really reasonable price. And I'm just excited to do this because then I'm going to get back and I'm going to do a live with a friend of mine. And everything was going to just be phenomenal. I was super excited. And that's me planning. That's me planning. Now, that sounds pretty good planning, right? Well, what I plan never happens. It just never turns out that way. So in the reality of what happens, because then I go, or whatever it's supposed to be. Let's go with the whatever it's supposed to be. And literally what ends up happening is a day or two before Friday, my friend gets a hold of me and says, you know what, I just can't do the live. I'm like, that's fine. It's whatever. I thought I'll go on by myself. I'll pull some cards. And I was really looking forward to that. So then again, here I'm planning again. Always knowing I'm going to do something, something is going to happen. So Friday comes, and I literally packed up the day before. I like had everything packed, just had to throw some clothes in the suitcase, which I did, get everything packed in the car, ready to go at 11, waiting for my mom to show up to, take over the babysitting thing for the grandbabies. And my mom is a person, if she's not a half an hour early, she's late. So I'm thinking I'm going to get out before noon. And I'm super excited because for once in my life, I'm going to be on the road way before. Again, get out of the road and on the way to go. Well, then a lady gets a hold of me and says, on your website doesn't show a time for 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. for a reading. I'd like one at 2 today. And I said, I apologize. I'm not available today. And I shouldn't have been. I'd redone my hours on my website, of which those are no longer there. But somehow she was able to go back into the website and the old hours pop up, my old hours, and she was able to schedule. And I'm like, Spirit, what's up with you? So, I could have easily said, hey, can we wait until later? Can we do this another day? Blah, blah, blah. And she probably would have. But, I went, what Spirit is telling me, um, I just need to go ahead and do this. So she's like, is that confirmed? I'm like, yeah, you know what? If you were able to do this at a site that doesn't have an hour there, Spirit is telling me we have to do this. So sure enough, I thought, you know what? I'll just drive part way up and I'll do the reading. And that's exactly what happened. You know, but let's kind of backtrack a little bit. So here I'm thinking I'll do the reading at 2, but I'll still be on that road for 2.5 hours. I'll be almost all clear by the time this reading goes on. And my mother gets a hold of me at noon and says, I'm on my way. And I'm like, what do you mean you're on your way? Why aren't you in the driveway? And she had some things that happened, which really don't normally happen with my mom. And I'm like, okay, well, it's going to be what it's going to be. I'll just be a little later and no big deal. And here I'm still thinking I'm all prepared, ready to go. My mom comes in. She's only 5 minutes after 12. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And give everybody hugs and kisses. I get out the door. I get in the vehicle. I turn it on and I went, oh my God, I have to go to the bank. I need fives. So rewrote my mind. Okay, fine. We're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. I will still be fine. But by the time I got to the bank and got on the road, it's almost 1. So I made it as far as the Dells, which is still pretty a decent place to be at, but I only made it as far as the Dells. I thought I'd only be stopped for half an hour. I ended up being stopped for an hour, did the reading. It was an amazing reading. Got back on the road and started going again, thinking, okay, I still have this, and this to do tonight, but I should still be safe. I just won't be there at 3:30. I'll be there by 4:30, and life will be great. And 45 minutes later, I ran into the snowstorm that I didn't know it was coming. Had no clue it was coming. I thought it was supposed to show up that night. Turns out it was supposed to come into the day. And sure enough, here we go. I'm hitting snow, ice, horrible stuff. And guess who is slowed down yet again? And in my mind, I'm getting frustrated. Oh boy, I was complaining and getting frustrated and going, oh my gosh, for F's sake, what is going on? And finally I heard, just kind of lay back, relax. I'd be getting slow, but you get there. You have nothing planned. So just get there. And I'm thinking, I got tons of stuff planned. So lo and behold, who knew that Spirit was rewriting my whole everything? So I no more than get there and sure I got there like 4:45, not a big deal, walking through the snow, get everything set up, beautiful setting. I still got to go see the shop. We just went an hour later, or well, a few hours later than we wanted to, but it was beautiful. It was a great time to go see it. I came back. I was going to leave the event site, go to the hotel, get checked in, have a beautiful, still have my life, all that, and uh, let's come to a halt. Let's come to a halt on that. And I'm like, really? Okay. So remember when I said I knew I'd be doing something broadcasting. I just didn't realize it'd be a podcast. And what ends up happening is Terry looks at me and says, hey, Barnaby here, Barnaby Jones. And yes, his name is Barnaby Jones, and he has a thing called Wisconsin Caps. And Barnaby goes, he wants to do a podcast about an event coming up in April. And Terry's like, hey, you want to come do this with me because you're a big part of this event? And I'm like, oh my God, I'd love to. I'm the moderator for the panel. I'm speaking one day. Everything's going to be great. Why not? Let's go do a podcast. And, we did the podcast. It was phenomenal. We had a blast. Everything was so much fun. But I ended up not leaving the event site until like 8:45. Far cry from what? Far cry from what I was initially looking at. And at that point, I didn't realize I actually rented the hotel room with the whirlpool. I really thought I only got the one without the whirlpool. So I walked, I get to the hotel and I'm still thinking, okay, I'll get something to eat really quick. I can still do the live. I'm going to be late. I don't think he's going to show up at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, but I can still do it. And I literally get into the hotel. I get in there, check. He's like, oh, you're getting the whirlpool suite tonight. I'm like, oh, bet. So I got up there, totally scratched the live and decided to just jump in the whirlpool. And I laid there for an hour and I just meditated. And it was the most beautiful thing that happened because, during the meditation, I just kind of went into this, what am I? What's going on? Why is it? Why is it that things don't necessarily happen the way I plan? Why is my whole life been that? Why is it that everything seems to be working out, but never the way I plan it? And they showed me that I don't have to worry about what's planned because you know what? They have my back. They're always there for me. I give a general idea of what I want and they make it better. They make it better. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. And it kind of blew me away. Not just the message that I received, but in the way I received it. Because, for the first time, that cafe I was talking about, guys, the cafe I was talking about, in the meditation, they had me walk through a door. And on the other side of the door, I'd be meeting my guides. And it was the most beautiful thing because when I opened up the doors, here was my cafe. Here was this beautiful space that was beautifully created. And today, at that moment, it was just for me and my guides. And it was the most beautiful thing because what happened was I didn't see myself as this. And I will tell you what, it was kind of comical in a way because literally they told me to see the soul that I am. And I unzipped from the back my skin and it would literally just fell for me like a sci-fi movie. And here was this beautiful soul. And I picked up my skin suit, very paranormal, and I laid it over a chair, and I had this beautiful conversation. And they were talking to me about how things happen in spirit so beautifully that there's never a wrong way. Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. Everything is beautifully, divinely created. All I have to do is say, hey, this is what I would like. Can you help me create it? I don't have to do a million and one plans. I don't have to do all the hoopla that I tried to do. All I have to do is say, hey, this is a general idea. Can we co-create? And they're like on it. And so after I came out of the meditation, I have to tell you, I was awestruck. I was just awestruck. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. And I thought about the next day event because it's no secret, anybody that knows me, I used to do tons and tons of events. And a couple of years ago, Spirit told me I was going to stop doing those events. And I was like, oh, no, 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 no. Those are my bread and butter. And they told me to trust, to trust. And then they told me to quit my job as a nurse. And I went, oh, and they said to trust. And I went, okay. And then it's no lie. I've still done a few events over the last couple of years, not a whole lot, but a few. But throughout those events, I'm told you just need to play. And I'm sure I have driven the event coordinators batty. I mean, batty, beyond batty, because I show up, I put up my stuff, everything else, and it's almost like a do not disturb sign because I go play. I go and I get Reiki and I go get the massage and I get my bars ran and I talk to friends and yeah, if somebody and I do a speech or I do the gallery and then once in a while I sit down at the table, I do a couple of readings, but not a whole lot. And it's like I just show up and their eyes like, why do you pay to get in? You to have a space if you're just gonna play. And I'm like, because spirit tells me that I need to come play. This I won't take time for myself. So this is my playtime. But I won't do that unless I commit to it. So this is my way of committing to me. And thank you. Thank you for allowing me to get through this. So it was so funny because what literally happened was when I showed up on well, Sunday, Saturday morning, I woke up and Spirit goes, "Are you ready for?" I got dressed and they put me in a lovely dress and awesome, amazing heels, and it was just I really felt like a rock star. I felt professional. I felt like a rock star. I felt amazing. Um, it was beyond the belief, just amazing. And when I looked in the mirror to see if I looked okay, Spirit goes, "Are you ready for work?" And I went, "Work? What do you mean work? Like, you haven't let me work for 2 years, not at an event." And they told me, "Remember, we told you you're going back to doing events. Not just psychic medium events, wellness events, but paranormal events, um, retreat events, gallery events, events in general, anything you can think of events, radio events, TV events, all of it." And they basically told me, yes, Saturday was the first day. And I went, okay, I guess we're doing events. I guess I'm going to work. And I showed up and I told one of the gentlemen, Danny, and I said, "I'm here to work today." And he's like, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Yes, I'm here to work today." And I literally got all ready and I went to go do the gallery because I was signed up for the gallery. And galleries are always right away in the morning. And I got there and they went, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting ready for the gallery." They went, "The gallery's at 1:30." I'm like, "What?" And we're trying something different because usually we do the gallery early in the morning and it's really not enough time for everybody to show up that want to be part of it or would want to be part of it. So I'm like, God, rock star genius idea. And then a friend came in and I sat down and talked with her stuff for a while. And it was just an amazing moment. And Terry comes and finds me. He goes, "You have people waiting at your table." And I said, "Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to go to work." And he said, "Work? Work?" I said, "Yeah, I guess I'm working today." And he went, "Mm-hmm." And it was funny because the whole day, that's what I did. I worked all day long and it was glorious. I mean, I did private readings and then the gallery happened and it was just so amazing. 35 people in this beautiful, this space. And what a beautiful opportunity to stand up and serve. Just stand up and serve. And to be able to touch so many lives and to help so many spirit and just the glory of it, just the glory of it. And as I went through the rest of the day, it was just amazing. And normally I'm the person at the end of the day that, I am packed up and out the door. If the event's done at 5, I'm out by 5:05 at the latest. And I don't think I left until like 5:40 because I took my time packing up. It was like, whatever, I'll get there when I get there. And it was glorious. And on the way home, I just sat there with spirit. I sat there with spirit and they told me, "See how glorious it is? Glorious it is when we just co-create, when we work together." And I was like, wow, yeah. And I went, God, I've been fighting that. I've been fighting that co-creation. I mean, I have known everything is always going to be okay. Always going to be okay. I in my head every once in a while, I'll tell you, I get in my head once in a while and I scream, "Oh my God, is it gonna be okay? Oh my God," and whatnot, because I'm human. We all do that. But as I have learned as I've gotten older or wiser, I'm learning to stop fighting that. And it was amazing because the way home, yeah, I talked to, my mom and family and whatnot, a little bit here and there, but because it's a 3-hour drive. But I spent a lot of time with Spirit and them telling me it's just about the co-creation. And then they had the opportunity to give me a lot of information about things coming up in my life, things I'll be doing, things that will be just amazing, and being able to co-create those things. And it made me start thinking about my guests. It made me think about Kim. It made me think about Rob. It made me think about Deb Rizal. It made me think about so many different Natalie Jones, who was on a couple of, like a month ago. Um, it made me think about all these people that have these amazing businesses that they literally just somehow they just make it happen. They get an idea, Spirit gives it, they get it, whatever happens, and they let go and they co-create. And it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal to see what they come up with. And I thought, wow, that really is part of it. Part of me is learning to let go of the fear. And that's what a lot of that knowing everything is going to be okay is. I've learned to let go of fear. So if it doesn't turn out the way I think it's going to, it doesn't mean it's not going to turn out, just maybe not the way I planned. It's okay if my world comes down crashing around me. It was supposed to have destruction because you can't build a new house on an old house. And to just trust and not have fear and know that everything is always going to be okay. I've always handled worse. But then to watch the co-creation happen. So when you get a thought in your mind, guys, go with that thought. Know that Spirit gave you that thought. Know that you are walking into something that's beautiful and that you're not alone in this. And know that it's going to be okay. So that's enough of me babbling for this morning. I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to take a quick station break here with Schooled Thru Spirit on WLTKDB.com. And when I come back, we'll bring in Kim.
Looking to launch your new masterpiece? Then try something new with Moonbow Publishing and Production. At Moonbow, we have a strong desire to serve authors in a powerful and meaningful way. After all, you poured your heart and soul into your writing, and we fully understand and respect that. Remember this: you will own the copyright to your work. You will have the final say on your work before being published. Even after all of that, we've saved the best for last. We won't take a percentage sold. Nope, not a penny. Excited about MoonbowPublications.com yet? We thought so. Take advantage of our company's services like book editing, formatting, and covers, publishing, and photography. Moonbow Publishing and Productions has everything you are looking for in a company. Remember, we will not keep any commissions. We are a boutique publishing company focusing on spiritual, health and wellness, and personal growth genres. Moonbow Publications and Productions, a new kind of publishing company.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Schooled Thru Spirit. I'm your host, DeEtteRanae.com. That would be my website. Here on Schooled Thru Spirit on WLTKDB. Let's bring in Kim. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
You're so beautiful. Oh, my God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, wow. I've been so excited. Your energy is so soft. I love it. Oh, my gosh. So, Kim, tell everybody hi and who you are.
Hi, everybody. I'm
Quick.
Kim Pomeroy. I'm the divine creator of Indigo Waters, Holistic Therapies and Retreats. And I do a lot of different things, but I work in the Akashic Records to help people find their soul purpose and manifest the lives that they desire. Reiki Master Teacher. I call myself an awakening life coach. And I do some things called soul realignment and quantum healing hypnosis technique. And then I recently opened up my retail space for my crystals here, and I teach.
Oh, I love that. Gosh, you do so much. I wasn't looking at comments this morning, and I also just flipped the comments like, oh, I forgot to look at that. Good morning, everybody that's come in. I apologize.
Hi, everyone.
My gosh, you have got such a long list of things you do, and I love that. So how did you get started in this? How did you one day just kind of wake up? And I like to say wake up, and not to say that everybody doesn't do it that way, but you know what I mean? How did you wake up?
Oh, definitely. It's kind of a long story, and I think like all of us humans, we're on this journey from the moment we're born. We're because of our intelligence and our brains, we're always trying to figure out like what is this all about, right?
Right.
But I would say mine really started probably in my teen years because I left the religion I was raised in, which
Okay.
was a highly controlling religion.
Right.
And you're disappointing a lot of people when you do that. And the religion I was raised in was Jehovah's Witnesses. And so when you do that, you're making a choice to leave family, friends, a lot of your support system.
Yeah. It's
And yeah. So I went on that journey, and I think because I was young, it probably wasn't quite as difficult as for some people that are doing that later in life. Did the marriage baby thing, but in my 30s, I've always been really career driven, and I still am, but it looks a lot different now. And I was, working hard, climbing that corporate ladder, just, working way too much,
right.
seeking all of that egoic stuff that we go after,
Right.
and trying different religions, different spiritual practices, but nothing resonated. But as far as my path goes, it really happened in 2012, I would say. I had accepted a promotion to what I thought was my dream job. I was going to be 3 hours away from home, living in an apartment there, commuting a lot. And I took a week off between the two jobs. And I started experiencing a lot of fatigue, deep fatigue, balance problems. And I started losing my vision in my right eye, but I ignored it.
Right.
And like a good baby boomer that I was, I went down for the weekend, got settled in my apartment, ready to start that first day of work. I woke up that morning and I was blind in my right eye.
Wow.
And I still went to work.
Yeah. I know those feelings. I used to go with like a broken ankle, and I'd show up like you can only air cast it.
Yes.
You put a cast in and it can't go to work, and I have to go to work. Yes, I get it.
Right. So, just I guess making those decisions and choices for other people, not for us, right?
Yeah.
And so my dad had died and had 3 strokes. So I thought, well, I better pay some attention to this. So got into an ophthalmologist. Of course, that appointment was later in the day because I didn't want to disrupt my employer. And I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, MS.
Yeah.
And that sends you into a fear state of what if I end up in a wheelchair? What if I go blind in my other eye? And then all of the, choices you have to make around the disease modifying drugs, which are very strong and powerful. And some people need them, but they're hard on the body.
Exactly.
And I worked for an organization that was not supportive at all. If you didn't work 60 hours a week, you were,
It is. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I'm trying to click on a comment here, and I'm here. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, so I would counsel, I was a human resource director.
Mm-hmm.
And I would counsel a lot of people about, the laws that protected them and that they need to take time for themselves and their families and their health. But I couldn't do it for myself.
Right.
And I started spiraling into a pretty deep depression. Reached out one evening when I was in a pretty low state to a psychiatrist, and they worked with me and encouraged me to take some time off to figure this out, which was extremely hard for me to do.
Right.
I went back home and I found myself completely lost. I did not know who I was, what my purpose was, why I was here, without all of that egoic attachment to title and money and all of the things that we think are important, but they're illusions. They're just illusions.
Right.
And that went on for actually a couple of years. And in 2015, I was in such a low state that I had a very detailed suicide plan. And my husband was going to go to the barbershop, and he left. And that was when my plan was going to take place. And he got to the barbershop. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps right now. He got to the barbershop and it was closed. The owner had an emergency. So my husband came home, and needless to say, I ended up at 3 days in the psych ward.
Yeah.
This strong, powerful woman, that was my perception. I didn't know, like, how the heck am I in this place?
Right.
But what it did was I learned about mindfulness and meditation, and I started going on that journey after I got out and learning about it, practicing it. I've been a daily meditator since 2015. There is a place and a need for traditional medicine. And I went down that journey, and that helped me get to a place where I started exploring alternatives, because the disease modifying drugs that I had tried, mainly out of fear, I would say, looking back,
Right.
they didn't agree with me. So I was looking for alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
And, I heard about Reiki. I tried a session. Right away, it opened up my heart chakra.
Wow.
I'm like, there is something here. I don't know what it is, but there's something to this.
Yeah.
And so I was also doing the meditation and exploring different modalities and learning about that. And then I would say what really catapulted me into what I'm doing now is I was my mother's power of attorney in 2019, went through her death, which was, she wanted to pass, but because of the religious upbringing, I saw how much she was struggling letting go.
Yeah.
And I decided I just don't want to do that. I need to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took Reiki training, and then divinely guided synchronicity into soul realignment, and on and on and on. And one day I get a lot of hits in the shower. I'm a water baby. And I saw this beautiful spa-like place with the water flowing, and I was actually doing Reiki in this beautiful pool. And it's like, this is what I'm meant to do. And the rest is history. It's what you were saying when you were speaking before.
Yeah.
Our thoughts are powerful.
They are.
And our thoughts turn to things that it's amazing.
Yeah. It
And that
really is.
Yeah, that can go a positive way, that can go a negative way.
It can, and people don't realize that. And I think for myself, I'm always like, let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. You know what I mean? Just because the negative, I don't want the negative that could come from that.
Yeah, and I think once you learn this and practice it, those negative moments or days even, they just don't last. A day or two, and you can shift your mindset.
Exactly. And that's just it. And people don't, not everybody realizes that. I think as people go on through life, they might, as you get older, wiser. I think there's a huge spiritual awakening going on right now. And I
Mhm.
used to say that very generically, but I'm really starting to recognize it. I'm really starting to recognize it with so many people, in so many places.
Absolutely. It's wonderful. When I had my open house, I was really surprised and delighted because, I had it in my mind. There's certain, people that, like the chamber people, they're business people, they're finance people, they're bankers. And I came from corporate.
Yeah.
I had the mindset like they're not going to be interested in this. And it was amazing. They were asking questions, they were looking, they were buying, they were wanting to know about workshops. And it reaffirmed like things are definitely shifting.
And I love that. That is huge when you see that, because I know I applied to my own chamber of commerce and I
Mhm.
think they ignored me. Of course, I don't have a brick and mortar though. You know what I mean? It's just I've been doing business out of this town for 4 or 5 years now, but because I don't have the brick or mortar, sometimes they don't always look at you. And I'm like, one day
Oh,
they will. One day they will.
yes.
They will. I love this. So many people are commenting that they just needed to hear this so much today. So much.
Oh,
And I love that.
I love that.
If you don't mind, I want to go back to a little bit further back into your journey about the MS. And just because you told me about your story, and I know you don't have a problem with sharing it with people. Um, and because, I know from what you've told me that you don't use, normal medications anymore for it, Western medications
No.
for the MS. Can you talk to people about that a little bit? And I'm not trying to send people away from a doctor because I do have the medical background. So it's always like, if you need a doctor, go to the doctor. But there's, what energy and natural can really do a whole lot too that people don't realize.
Absolutely. It's one of the, I hate to use the word lessons, but it's one of the things I've learned through going through this, is it's about our thoughts. I tried those medicines and I had severe reactions from them. And so I had to get to a place where I made a choice. If I keep thinking about all the fear, if I have a relapse and it's in my left eye, I'm blind.
Yeah.
If I end up in a wheelchair, how's my life going to look? And back then I saw it as way worse than I do now, but I made the choice to say, okay, I'm going to shift my mindset. I'm going to shift into a place where I am not going to focus on all of the fear and the what ifs. I am going to take this life and I'm going to live it fully while I'm here.
Right.
And I just turned 61 yesterday.
I know. Happy birthday. I told everybody we had to do a big birthday shout out to you. So,
Thank you. Well, does somebody else I know have a birthday?
well, my birthday was actually a while ago, but mine was in
Oh,
January. Mine was just,
whoa.
oh,
I misunderstood. I thought you were saying it was today.
no, no, I've told everybody I wanted to do a big birthday shout out to you today because we couldn't do the show yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Thank
So
you.
I was so excited for you. I
Yeah.
love birthdays. I'm all about celebrating birthdays. You know what I mean? I am all about, you need to celebrate you. Oh my God. Todd's mine is today. Happy birthday,
Oh,
Todd.
happy birthday, Todd.
Todd's my producer. So happy birthday.
Yes. Yes. Happy
Nice.
birthday.
I love that.
Yeah. So, I really mentioned that just because it's about our thoughts too. I came out of 7 years of early retirement because of my illness,
Yeah.
to do what I'm doing now. And there is no age limit. Just, yes, you have to step through a lot of fears. Like I tell people, I did a lot of things I was proud of in my career and did things that I was uncomfortable with, but nothing like doing this.
Oh
It
yeah.
brings up so many blocks and fears. But as far as the MS goes, I changed my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that was a big part of it. And then just doing the energy healing. I try to do self Reiki regularly.
Right.
I work with my crystals.
I love that.
And yes, I love, this is my apophyllite. It's
Yes,
my,
I know. I'm like, I love a pop light. I mean, people don't even know. You take a pop light with some selenite, you know, you don't know where you can go.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's a mind shift, and then doing the holistic things that are good for us, our mind, body, and soul. I could do better at eating. This is my lifelong struggle.
Right.
Um, yeah, but all of that's very important. Just a holistic approach.
Right. Now um, I want to take this from a Reiki base. And I know this, for a lot of people listening, this might be really kind of like a weird question. But if you take it from a Reiki base, because Reiki's, at least when I learned Reiki, it was a big that we cause our own things. We cause our own. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at, I'm not looking at the MS, but when you're looking at symptoms, like going blind in one eye, I know at that point you didn't look at it like, oh my God, what am I not seeing? What am I
Right.
not wanting to see? But when you look back on it, or if you have symptoms these days, do you look at it and go, my body's not working today? I'm not listening. I need to take a break. So my body's telling me I have to take a break, or I'm not seeing so well today. So what is it I'm not wanting to see? Do you take it from that Reiki point and go, what is it that my body's telling me?
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't even know about that back then.
Yeah.
And now when the work I do with quantum healing, it's also looking at that, because our higher self can come in and do physical healing. But I absolutely know now what I didn't, the correlation to going blind in that eye and what I wasn't seeing. And it was about misalignment. I was completely in misalignment,
Right.
meaning not living my true self, I didn't even know my soul essence then. I know who I am now from the work that I've done, and also my soul realignment work. But I was in complete misalignment, not who I truly am. And so I wasn't seeing that. And now, now when something like that happens, because it's always going to happen, we're human in this human experience. It's very easy to, within probably 24 hours, to listen to your higher self saying, well, do you see what's going on here?
Mhm.
For example, with the open house, I had that flood here.
Right. Oh,
And
yeah.
then,
I mean, you messaged me. I'm like, oh, you just, you're supposed to do other things. That's all. So,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. It was a way to slow me down for a few days, or I was going off the cliff.
Yeah. And people don't recognize that. People
Mhm.
don't recognize. I always tell people, the tower card in a tarot deck is not a bad card. It can be your best card.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because destruction is a good thing. Sometimes you need to have destruction in order to rebuild. And sometimes you don't even realize you needed the destruction to happen.
I completely agree. I've said it all along. I would not change anything of what happened in my life, as hard as it was, because I wouldn't be where I am today.
Oh, 110%.
Yeah.
110%. I just love your outlook on life. I love how I resonate with you. And I know we talked before, but I resonate with you so well because, I wasn't corporate world, I was medical world, but that career driven, I've got to work. If I'm not putting in at least 60 hours, there's something wrong with me. If I'm not working 9 or 10 days on with the one day off, there's something wrong with me. And I should probably be working the one day off too, because there's something I
Mhm.
could do, you know, so I understand that mindset. For me, I had to take a trip to Scotland. You know what I mean? Like I had to go to Scotland for a week and then stop and go, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Now, I don't know if you did the same thing, but when I came back, I just went from, 5 or 6 doubles a week, I went to 3 doubles, but to me, it was less than 60 hours, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I switched that around.
I went from, being on that catapulting, I was going to the top, whatever the top means. And that was my goal. And I was doing whatever I could to get there. And then it was boom, nothing. I was sitting at home wondering what the hell.
Do you have regrets then?
No,
That's a big
no.
question, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Some people would look at that and go, "Wow," but do you have regrets of that hustle and bustle and that maybe the money, whatever, of any
right.
of it?
No, not at all. What was it difficult? It was extreme. Well, obviously, it was difficult with the mental illness that I had to go through.
Right,
But and I'm gonna say I'm fortunate because I I had insurance that I was able to tap into, so I didn't suffer like some people monetarily when they have
right.
an illness and it prevents them from working. So, I was always grateful for that because there's many people out there that have something like this happen and they have no means of supporting themselves, and
Right.
and so
But I think even in those cases, if you open up your mind, if you open up your mind and you just go, "Okay, I know I'm gonna be okay somehow,"
mhm,
it's kinda having your own awakening going, "You know what? I know I'm gonna be okay somehow. I just gotta trust that." And then you can watch the universe almost connect dots for you. You know what I mean? To open up other avenues that you didn't think possibly were there. You know what I mean? Because the
mhm.
universe has a way of doing that. Spirit has a way of just connecting dots to making sure you're okay. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, well, I love law of attraction and universal law, but as far as our ability when in the thick of things that are hard in our life, it's really hard to think that way. But I tell people practice it, listen to Abraham Hicks YouTubes, do it before you go to bed, and it starts shifting your mindset. And when you can start practicing that, you
Right.
can see that light at the end of the tunnel. And you also, probably most importantly, see how you're creating your reality.
Yeah. That is huge. I mean,
Mm.
it's huge. So let's go over and start talking about the hypnosis.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have been all on hypnosis lately. I don't let's put it this way. I used to have this huge, like, I think I need to go learn to practice hypnosis because I'm so interested, this and that. And now I'm all in it and learning to do trance. And it learns that I'm not supposed to be like a practitioner. I'm just supposed to be like put under a lot. You know what I mean? I love hypnosis now. I'm like addicted.
I could see that because your higher self is just,
It's
you
screaming.
tap, yeah, you
Yeah.
tap into it
It's
much easier than when you're not in that theta state.
Yes, and it's amazing. It's so amazing. I mean, and I'm actually just because, it's no secret to anybody because it's like I'm totally into hypnosis now. I'm learning trance, which is another state of, well, it's not hypnosis, it's trance. But to me, it's like it feels the same, kind of going under.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm also just finishing the book, Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss. I don't know if you know that book at all.
No, I
But
haven't read it.
oh my god, it's amazing, and I'm sure he was a psychiatrist, very, very corporate, very CEO. We're talking mental health to the 10th. He had heard about past lives, he had heard about this, but it was all jank. He didn't believe in any of it. That was just somebody else's creation. Um, and it was so funny because he ended up finding a lady, and that they were sending to him thinking that he could help her because she had all these really fantastic fears. Like she couldn't swallow any, she didn't want to eat because she was afraid of choking, and
Hmm.
only sleep in her closet, with the lights on because she had all just really huge fears. And he decided to start taking her under. And it was mind blowing how each session, now for her, she naturally went to past lives. She didn't stay in this life. She naturally went to past lives and really brought him into this whole world that he's in now. He's still a psychiatrist, he's still that, but he's just a huge practitioner of the spirituality in that aspect too. But through hypnosis, he was able to help her release these fears,
Hmm.
just release these fears and um, not have the struggle she was having. How do you see hypnosis and how that works as you as a being a practitioner?
So it's I love the contrast and comparison between soul realignment work that I do, and I do that through the Akashic Records, which is about a 4 hour, takes me about 4 hours to get that information for somebody.
Right.
Comparing that to the quantum healing technique, which is, hypnosis,
Right.
although people are really aware. Dolores Cannon is a founder of this. She's no longer with us, but people are very aware. It's not like you go under and you forget everything.
Mhm.
But both of those modalities are taking you into past lives. With quantum healing, I tell people don't have any expectations, because I don't know and you don't know where your higher self are going to take you.
Right.
And it could be past lives, it could be past deaths, it could be, we just don't know. There's so many experiences. But there's different lessons that we learn in that, and the higher self will help you figure that out.
Mhm.
And then also calling in the higher self for physical healing. So it does a body scan, and it's phenomenal.
It really is. Have you seen, I'm just gonna go there because I know we have to be professional. I know you can't say names. I know you can't say a lot. But have you taken people on that journey or found out information that was just so mind-blowing that you couldn't fathom it? Does that make
Um,
sense?
yeah, it does. So I've been doing soul realignment for a couple of years now. Quantum healing I'm newer at, but I'm working with a beautiful, beautiful person. His name is Matt Schmidt, and he's been doing it for 3 years. And so some of the sessions I've had have been pretty powerful in terms of people who have been dealing with long-term, we're talking in this lifetime, their entire life from trauma that they've gone through, and learning about it through that technique and being able to release that,
Right.
which is pretty powerful. Matt has actually seen people cure themselves of cancer, go off of medications like thyroid medications, grow organs that they had lost.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been doing it longer, and he's a wonderful mentor. I can't wait until I can have that experience. It's like a lot of this energy healing, our logical brains can't wrap around how powerful we really are.
Our bodies are designed to do that.
Mhm.
People don't realize that our bodies are designed to regenerate, regrow. But tapping into that is huge.
Yeah.
One of the ladies watching Nancy is saying, "How do you get your brain to just shut off? Because hers just won't shut up." And she says she tried meditating and staying quiet, but it just makes her think more. Do you have any suggestions for her?
I get that a lot. And here's my recommendation, because it's what worked for me. When you think about meditation, a lot of us think about Buddha under the tree. And I tell people, start small. Go to a couple of these apps like Insight Timer, Calm. They're free apps. And I also encourage people, do it like 15, 20 minutes before you go to bed, because you're not carving out a specific amount of time in your day, because we're all so busy.
Right.
This is the beginning of your practice. You may get there, but start out this way. Put your headphones on or your earbuds, and pick a topic that resonates with you, and learn how, through guided meditation, you can change your breathing
Mhm.
and learn how to breathe differently and calm yourself, and start out that way and do it every single night. And you will learn so much. And it's easy to start that way.
Beautiful. That's a great suggestion, because I make my students do it every day at a certain time of the day for a certain amount. They get mad at me. Oh, commitment, commitment.
Yeah.
Um, I love that as a suggestion because I think that really helps because it's not a like shut down and start going. This takes
Right.
time. Nancy says she's going to try it, so thank you for that.
Yes. It is a practice. You just work at it.
it's like anything. It just takes us time. Nothing just goes on the way we want it to go.
Yeah.
Nothing does, you know? I was talking about that before you came on. It's like we want it to be this way, and spirit's like it's going to be this way. And sometimes you just got to go, okay, I'm going to go your direction because it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Michael says he has macular degeneration, and he has been doing self-energy healing with the intention of reducing the damage. His last checkup and scan showed that and are on the ones that they are concerned now have shrank. That's
Amazing.
huge.
Oh,
That,
goosebumps.
that's huge. I love that, Michael. I love that. Um,
Yes, beautiful.
it is. I love that. And people, and it's amazing if you just, energy, whether it's Reiki or whatever energy you practice, it just, for myself, I think we can give a lot of names to it, but I think it all still comes from the same place. It's just
Yeah.
that I think in our world, we always want to put something with a name. He said my spelling. I said, Michael, it's my reading. Michael's a dear friend, and he watches and he knows I don't do so well. but um, but I think people, if sometimes we just have to realize that, you know what, it is the mind over matter. It's mind over matter, allowing that energy to come in and allowing it to work with us. It's a natural thing. So it's very a
Yeah.
natural thing.
And what's so important also to remember, because we hear a lot in spiritual development about positive thinking and that sort of thing. And that can get a little bit misconstrued because our bodies are 3D. Our mind, thoughts, and our egos are in the fourth dimension. And then we're multidimensional. So our souls are moving in and out of 10 different dimensions at any given time. And so we can have all the positive spiritual thoughts in the world,
Mhm.
but if we're not acting at the physical body level, nothing much is going to change.
Exactly. And I want to comment on that because that's just, for anybody listening, what she's talking about is just pure manifestation. It really, let's use the word. And it's so funny because when The Secret came out, and it
Yeah,
was just a beautiful concept, The Secret, beautiful concept. But did anybody understand it? I mean, truly, did you get it? Because everybody everybody did it, and nobody's a millionaire, and nobody's life got better, and you know what I mean? Nobody was
right.
now chicken soup, you know what I mean? Not if it, but everybody still went, but what's the secret?
Hmm.
But everybody, and someday I'm gonna try to get this man on this radio show because I'm just gonna put it out there, he'll do it. I'm gonna reach out, he's gonna say yes. But Mike Dooley, I don't know if you know who he is. To me,
Yeah.
if you don't, please Google him. Please Google him. This man has been around forever. And he's just thoughts become reality. And he talks about those thoughts. He talks about manifestation, talks about you wanting something. And I don't even know if they put him in The Secret. I really don't think they do because he has the secret to it. And he does. He's like, you know what? If you want that, you want this red, say, Ford Explorer with, blah, 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 blah. You need to think that you want this. You need to want this. You have to feel the steering wheel in your hands. You have to feel it in your body. You have to put yourself in this vehicle. And he's like, and you do it for 3 seconds and you let it go, but you let the body feel it. You let it. It's like you're bringing the thought in that's out here, but you bring it into the body and you
Hmm.
feel that. And when you do that, that reality is going to happen. You know what I mean? So um, people don't realize that. People just don't realize that part of that reality of making something happen has to happen here. It can't just be here. You know.
Right. I had that. I had that. It was a really emotional experience the night before my grand opening. It was crazy 3 weeks. Like I had no idea it was this hard and this much work, but beautiful work. Thank you, universe. But I was mopping my way out and I got to the door and I stopped and I looked at everything and it was evening and the lights were low and it looked so beautiful. And all of a sudden I got emotional and the heart chakra opened and the tears came. And I realized at that moment, at first I didn't know how I created this other than thinking about it. And then it's like, no, you thought about it, you manifested it, you took action on it. And that's how it happens.
Yeah. So let's talk about that store you created. Let's talk about that. I was trying to get up there. I couldn't get up there early enough, and my life depended on it. I tried, Kim. I tried.
You'll make it. You'll
I'll
make it.
make it. I had so many plans. I was getting to Eau Claire early for so much, and it is what it is, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's talk about your store because I
Mhm.
want to hear all about it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm on a laptop now, so I can't show you around, but there are some pictures and video on my Facebook business page. But so there's healing space here, and it's beautiful. You can see,
You see the fireplace. Oh my
yeah,
God, it's just
the
gorgeous.
fireplace, and then the session bed, and I use crystal therapy and vibrational sound therapy during sessions, and connection with spirit, if that's what somebody is wanting.
Mhm.
And then I also use the space for quantum healing, hypnosis technique, soul realignment. That is done. I do the work behind the scenes, and then I Zoom with somebody for 90 minutes because that gives them a recording, because it's a lot of deep, powerful information. But then in the front is where all of the beautiful healing crystals are, and that's a retail space. And then I also use that space for sound baths, and I'll do Reiki training and other workshops. And I'm just love how it feels here.
I love the energy of it is just you got on. I'm like, God, your energy is just amazing. Like,
Thank you.
wow. It just, well, for my practice, I connect to people's energy, and it's like wherever, what space you're in right now is just screaming soft and calm and beautiful, and just, you picked the right place. You've done a beautiful job at bringing that together.
Thank you. I had lots of help, lots of support from family and friends.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So let's talk about sound bath. You know, people talk about it. No, but like the event I'm going to this weekend in Wausau, they do a sound bath, but nobody really talks. I know what it is, but can you explain to people what a sound bath is?
Sure. So, everything is energy,
Mhm.
quantum physics. So our bodies vibrate at a certain frequency. And so when we use all of these different instruments, these vibrational sound instruments, like, like the drums and the crystal singing bowls and the Tibetan bowls and rain sticks, and I have a lot of different things. All of those frequencies work with our chakra system
Mhm.
and help balance that. In
Right.
addition to just being a very meditative, beautiful, relaxing experience, I love doing guided meditations. I get in the flow and I go for a long time. So I start mostly all of my sessions with something like that, and
Mhm.
also a lot of intention for certain types of healing. Like I just did a sound bath on Sunday, and it was a heart chakra love activation, and I channel light language, which has been an amazing experience that only came to me in the last 6 months. That channel opened, and it's like, wow, this is like our soul just feels it. And so that came through at a sound bath. That was pretty amazing.
I love
But it's just an energetic bath. That's what I'm going to say.
Perfect. I love that because Nancy's like, I always wonder what the bowls were for. Now,
Mhm.
there's a lady on here, Lisa Bernard or Bernarde. I'm sorry, Lisa, if I totally screwed that up. She wants to know if you do training for the sound healing.
Vibrational sound healing? No, I don't train that. I received my training from Audrey Van Way here in uh,
Okay.
Eau Claire, and she's out of the Solstice Wellness Center.
Hmm.
So I did both levels with her. She has the beginning and the advanced, and she's an excellent teacher. I highly recommend her.
Have you ever thought about teaching
That one I have not thought about teaching.
it?
There's a lot of different areas that I want to go in.
Right? Well, I
Yeah.
was just asking because sometimes the question comes up because you're supposed to go that direction, you know? Watch, your hands will be vibrating for the rest of the day, and you're gonna be like, "Why are they vibrating? Why do I feel this numbness, or are they vibrating?" You know?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm working on some other ones for teaching the crystal healing and all about crystals. I do coaching and just about like the introduction to chakras and
I love
that
that.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Lisa does say thank you because that's who she's been looking at, going to Audrey herself, and Audrey is amazing. I had Audrey on here last year, and she's a rock, she's amazing.
Yes.
So,
Her
and then I
classes
see
are
this,
really good.
I didn't even have time to say hi. Like, I was so busy all day. So, you know, so I just love that. So where do you feel like your center will be going, your space will be going to in the future? Which direction do you think it'll be going?
I
Not old, so you got plenty
I
of
don't. Yeah,
time.
yeah. I used to always think about, oh, what about the future? What about 5 years? And I'm pretty much focused in the moment now.
Yeah. So whatever
Um,
happens, is it gonna happen?
I don't know that I go quite that organic because I still have that business in me, but I do. I there are times when I feel like I could see expansion into a larger wellness center and having other practitioners. Um, Time will tell.
I love that. I truly love that. Now, do you ever do events at all, or do you stay more to your center and home based?
Last year, starting out, I was on that circuit doing a lot of events, which I love doing, but I was also bringing all of my crystals to that, and it just got to be too much.
That was
I
it.
love connecting with people.
Mm-hmm.
So I have actually recently been, my guides are coming in saying, maybe you need to get out there and do one or two a year
Right.
and focus more on the other energy healing modalities and just connecting with people.
Yeah.
And then just having this space here with retail for crystals and leaving it at that.
Yeah. Let the crystal people bring, other crystal people bring their crystals because they like to bring a lot of crystals.
Yeah. I I loved it, but at my age it's physically exhausting.
No, I completely understand that. One of my dearest friends in the world, Maria Celeste, she does big events and she's the crystal person. She's a psychic medium. I'm like, why don't you just go and do readings? And she's like, well, I kind of am, but because she is literally she hauls, which she's like 3, 4, 5,000 pounds of
Yeah.
rocks. And I'm like, and she's in her 60s. I mean, she's a little tiny powerhouse. I mean, so she's stronger than most men that are in their 30s, you know what I mean? But it's
Mhm.
like, I'm thinking about retiring because it's getting to be a lot. It's starting to hurt a little bit, it's just starting.
Yeah, I had my
So,
little grandkids always helping me, and they loved it, and they're quite the salespeople with crystals because they
yeah.
know a lot, and I Reiki trained them too, so they're very into it.
Now, how did you go from being a lady of corporate world, okay? And I'm sure you raised your children corporate world, you know, to being able to teach your grandchildren about during Reiki and Chris. I mean, that is, usually our kids will look at us like, now you've just gone crazy. You know what I mean? And they have to wait till they get to a certain age before they open up. So how were you able to bridge that?
My background's in public administration and so, yeah, I did some of the long hours and like I said, always striving for something bigger and better, whatever that is. But when I started doing this, kids are just so curious and so open.
Mhm.
And it started out as me going to events and saying, "Hey, I need some help." And they were right on it. And so to be honest with you, I think my family saw the shift in me.
Oh,
They
that
have, and I don't think it, I know it. I've had them tell me, "You've changed so much."
yeah.
And so they started going to the events and they started meeting other people who are doing this kind of work and talking to them. And they got curious. And then, of course, it's fun to have crystals around at grandma's house and learning about them. And now they have their own collection. They use them. They're meditators every night. My daughter is also a Reiki master teacher that I trained. And so they're just around it, and the family uses it.
I love that, because I know within my own world, I won't let my daughter's super supportive. She understands she's coming into her own abilities, and she's looked at her own children. We're not going to stop it. We're not going to put them in a million classes, but we're going to let them choose what they want to do and let them be. So I bought my granddaughter crystals. I bought her, tarot, oracle card. She's 4 years old. I got to lock a door when I'm doing a reading because she wants to come and talk to the dead people instead of me talking. I'm like, where'd you go? And here she's playing with them. She's been doing it since she was 2. But to let it come organically is so beautiful. And I always laugh because when you said, they have their own crystal collection. I had a cat, Ayana, God bless her heart, because she's passed over now. But I used to go and buy crystals all the time. Now I buy big crystals. They got to be big, or I just don't bother to bring them home, because I got a bunch of tiny tumbled and stuff. And I would bring them in, and she'd go around the room. And if I brought it in, she would have to scope them all out and decide if it was hers or not. You know what I mean? So if it was hers, it was small enough, it would fall off a shelf. It would be and it would be in her pile. She put in a pile, and I have pictures of her rolling around in her own crystals. Which is just it's so special. I love that. Lisa is asking, she's learning Reiki and she's feeling guided to use crystals during her sessions, and she would love to attend a class about crystals, and she wants to know if you're going to post those on your Facebook page, and if that's the best place for her to stay current with your classes that you're offering.
Yes, definitely. I'm looking at some March dates. I don't have them finalized yet. And so it would be a 4-part series is what I'm planning right now.
Beautiful.
And so, yes, my business Facebook page is Indigo Waters Healing, and I would post it as an event. And as we all know, I don't know if I should go there or not, but Facebook is not friendly for business people.
It's not. I now don't do events. I just put a pretty picture up and information underneath because,
Yeah. So if you see something and you like it, comment, share. All of us business people are like, please do that. It helps us. We got to beat those algorithms.
And that's what I keep doing now. I mean, I never used to be a share person because I'm like, it'll happen organically. And last week I started screaming to everybody, share, sharing is caring, like the pages, like my Facebook page, like the station page, share us, get it out to more people. It's what we got. It's all we got going with us,
Right.
So
right.
I love the fact that you're going to you're going in that direction, and showing those. So since we're on that idea of crystals, we have a few more minutes. What is your favorite? Is it apophyllite or is there other ones?
Yeah, this is my apophyllite, and it's like a child to me. It helps calm me. It's for spirit connection, and I use it quite often when I do sessions at the crown chakra.
Okay.
And then I also love green fluorite. I love green fluorite, just abundance, and really, honestly, intuitively, I just love that color.
Yeah.
It doesn't go even beyond that.
What is green fluorite for? It is so special.
Green fluorite, you can go as deep.
I'm not leaving you talking.
No, that's all right. You can go as deep into the rabbit hole as you want when it comes to crystal healing. And I do teach a little bit about the science of nice. Yeah.
This is mine.
I love it. I love it. About the science of all of it. But really, when it comes down to it, we can choose many ways, but going intuitively, your higher self knows why you're being drawn to it.
And it's
so I love using it for, abundance and manifestation. And then also in the smaller ones, the heart chakra.
Okay. I love that. And it's so funny because I changed up my whole setup for my booth this year. Anybody ever seen me at a booth? I got a couple of rocks, and a sign. Let's go. I don't need a lot. Spirit's going to bring to me who they want. And this year they said, you need to up your game. Oh my God. So it takes me probably 15 minutes to set up and 15 minutes to tear down now, which is way more time than I need to impress on that. I'm like a 5-minute up and down done. And it was I was out shopping and I found a cluster of selenite because I am a huge selenite person, huge
Mhm.
selenite. And I set up my space and I put the selenite down and it went, we don't want to be here. And I went, you what? You couldn't have told me before I put you in the bag. You know what I mean? But it was funny because I just bought them. So I brought them in the space and they're like, no, it's not. So I'm like, I said, can you stay for the day? And they're like, fine, but then get us off this table. Like we don't want to be touched. We don't want to be this. So I pulled it back, I honored it. And I literally sat there looking at my table and it was so funny because I seen what needed to be there. And it was literally my green fluorite that went, I want to come. I want to
Mhm.
start being part of the public eye. And I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why does the green fluorite want to be there? But I like that. Abundance makes sense, you know,
Yeah.
and all of that. I think that makes complete sense.
With your selenite, because that's an overall amplifier for energy. And what I heard when you were saying it was it's too much. It would have been too much for, like your spirit connection.
Mhm.
And almost like when you plug in something into electrical socket and it's too much energy.
Yeah. And it's funny because what's on my reading table, if anybody's ever seen it, it's a quartz crystal point that's, I don't know, it's like this big around. So it's there already with my apophyllite and there's like a white calcite, you know what I mean? So I already have
Mhm.
a lot of energy amplifier
Yes.
and then I added the selenite. So to me, I'm in heaven,
Mhm.
but the stones are like, no,
Mhm.
this isn't working for us, you know? So I love that. Brenda just put on a comment. This is why I'm going to your next class. She's coming to my next class. I believe it's in April. She wants to know any of her skills and to expand upon that. And I think that's what we're all looking for. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of, like I don't know about you, but I have a lot of people that come to me, and of course I only teach psychic mediumship. Well, multiple levels of it, and I'm starting to bridge into some other things. In the realm of abilities. Because
Mhm.
I don't teach Reiki. I'm a Reiki master teacher, but it's not something I feel comfortable, you know, kind of like bridging and teaching
Mhm.
some other things. But people will come to me and go, Where should I start on this journey? Where should I go? What do you tell people when they ask you that? You
I
know?
tell, I tell people that's why I'm here. I really attract people that are just starting on that journey. They're just sort of dipping their toes in the water, and so they have a lot of questions, but and want to experience a lot of things, and that's who I love working with. Um, and I actually developed a coaching package around there so that they can over time explore all of these different modalities and then have somebody that's going to be there supporting them, guiding them, because we know when there's a lot of responsibility when you start raising your vibration rate into that fifth dimension.
Yep.
The relationships you once had will no longer resonate to you, and that can be really, really hard when it's parents or children or spouses,
Mhm.
and people need a lot of support through that. It means either changing or eliminating those things.
And it is, and that people don't realize that's what's going to happen. But I think intuitively, I really do believe intuitively people would wake up a lot faster, a lot more, like a lot more would be waking up, but intuitively they feel like this may not be a good thing right now for me in my life because I may not want what is coming with this. This is more than learning to do energy or, throwing some tarot cards or their abilities. This really is, it's a huge commitment. It's a life-changing commitment.
Yes, for
You know,
sure. And my logical brain says once you go down this path, when you're ascension or whatever you want to call it, I can't imagine going back. you know what I mean, to your old 3D life. And I don't say that in a judgmental way. I say it in a, you just, how am I saying it? You're just, you're in that higher vibration, and you have so much different awareness.
Mm-hmm.
How do you shut that back down with, if you could, I
Yeah.
don't think you'd be happy.
Well, and I agree with you 110%, because I know, like, for myself, um, for myself, it was hard because I used to be that person that would sit down and judge with people, and I'm going to say judge with people, or make rash decisions with people, or gossip with people, or I could fit really good in with the girls' sorority club. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's not that I'm looking bad on people now, because I'm not. Even in the spiritual community, you'll find it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I do believe as you progress, you start to have an intolerance, because you don't want, all of a sudden it's like, that doesn't feel right, because I'm seeing a bigger picture. I'm seeing that maybe they are saying those words or dressing that way or whatever. Even the homeless person that hasn't been able to bathe for weeks, there's a bigger picture. So
Mhm.
why would you even feel sorry, let alone judge them? Does that make sense? And it's just,
Mhm.
have compassion and having feeling sorry are two different things. But again, there's a bigger picture. So for
Yeah.
myself to stay in a group of people that would have maybe looked down on that person or said some really rash things or hurtful things, it didn't resonate anymore at all. So I walked away from all these people going, and I still do it. Some that I even held on for past that were that, I didn't see them for those qualities before. And I thought they were just beautiful. And as I progress further, they say things and I'm like, oh, that just, yes, sorry. I just distance
Mhm.
myself, and it's a natural distance because it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, because
I don't know how better explain that. I don't know if you got a better explanation.
no, I think really what you're saying is once you go on this journey and your vibration is in that higher frequency, we are source energy. We were created by source, however you want to think about that.
Mhm.
God, higher power, that doesn't matter. We have source in us. So when we do this ascension journey, we're tapping more into that oneness, into that divine love.
Yeah,
And so all of those things that resonated with us before, like you mentioned, maybe there was gossip, maybe there was judgment, all of the human things we do,
yeah,
it no longer resonates.
yeah. And I think, and it's hard, but I think that's why people have such a hard time evolving within the spiritual, because one, it's like getting started, and then that starts to happen. It's like, oh, they don't realize they're actually making a conscious choice at that time that they don't realize as a choice, you know?
Yeah, the exciting thing, and I'm sure you're seeing this too, especially like when you're out at events and that,
Mhm.
is the younger generations. I tell people, like, you're doing this in your 30s. Awesome. You don't have to do it when you're my age.
Exactly. And I think, God, I wish I would have started this so many years ago. And then I go, wait a second, I did. I just had a lot of crap to go through to get to the point where I am now.
Yeah.
Well, and if I had started this, if I'd started on this part of my path 20 years ago, I wouldn't be who I am today, or I wouldn't be able to do what I do today, because I would not have been a judgmental person. I would not have been, putting myself in a lower vibration to learn the things I needed to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It really, when I look back, it's like, "Oh, I've been doing this. It's always been there." Um, I just had to stay in a different vibration for a long time. I had
Mm-hmm.
to live that life as full as I could to get to the point where I'm at now,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing. So, if you were gonna tell anybody anything, what is your advice for them?
Oh, anything?
Yes, anything, what's some good solid advice?
I think it's just so important for us to realize that we really are divine creators of our own human experience, and we can lose track of that and get in misalignment. But it first takes knowing. that getting that conscious awareness of who you are at soul level, to
Mhm.
be able to live in alignment, but to realize you are a divine creator, and that can happen. You can know that, and you can live in alignment then.
So how do people find you now?
I have a
You have a lot
website.
to offer, so I want people to find you.
Thank you. IndigoWatersHealing.com is my website. And then Facebook, Indigo Waters Healing. What else? I'm on Instagram, but I'm learning all that. I'm not very good at that.
Me too. I put a picture up now, and I need to learn to do better than that. So thank you so much, Kim, for coming
Thank
on.
you.
I am just so blessed that you said yes. You came on and you shared yourself and became so vulnerable for everybody. So I appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to people like reaching out to you. I really am.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the invite.
Thank you.
Working with you.
Oh, beautiful. You have an amazing day, okay?
You too.
And everybody else, I'll be back in a few minutes with your weekly reading here on Schooled Thru Spirit with WLTK DB.
Meet Nicole Strickland, one of the leading San Diego paranormal researchers. Nicole offers a gentle and humble approach to working with spirit energies. Being the founder of the San Diego Paranormal Research Society, Nicole is no stranger to the unknown. Due to Nicole's vast knowledge of the paranormal, she is widely sought after for speaking engagements on topics like Children of the Paranormal, Paranormal Investigation 101 and 102, History of Spiritualism, and more. Not only does Nicole research the afterlife, but also writes about it, and is the author of several books pertaining to the paranormal and its history. She has appeared on television shows like My Ghost Story, Travel Channel's Famously Afraid, Good Morning San Diego, and more. Have a conference or event coming up? Contact Nicole on her website, authornicolestrickland.com. That's authornicolestrickland.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Schooled Thru Spirit. I'm your host, DeEtte Ranae here. We're going to do our cards today. Now, you know what? I switched cards last year. Remember a little bit? I'm doing the Nature's Whispers cards Oracle deck, and as a clarification card of everything, they told me to bring out the Beyond Luminaire cards. And I don't know if you've ever worked with these cards, but they're kind of wordy. And I'm like, are you sure, really? But trust me, like lots of words. So when it comes to that, I'll be just reading what they say on that because I feel like that's what they're telling me to do. And before this, I want to let you know because I didn't see this comment in the beginning. Remember, I kind of screwed up this whole comment thing in the very beginning. But Mandy Napoleon, if you are still with me, congratulations. I don't know anybody that watched the show last week when me and Missy were talking, doing live readings, but Miss Mandy passed her realtor exam. Yay, awesome. I'm so excited for you. So let's do, okay, I'm here 4 cards and okay, 4 cards. They keep telling me to do 5. I guess we're going to do 5. We're going to do 5 cards. We're going to just shuffle here and we're going to talk about them really quick. So 5 cards and then we'll do the clarification card. So how this works, guys. Yes, please, a reading. Yes, Brenda, we're doing this. So how this works, guys, is I'm going to pull the cards, and I'm going to pull 5 cards. So you can pick 1, 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, whatever. That's your card for the day or for the week. Maybe it's something you need to work on. Who knows? It'll resonate with you. But you can pick 1 card. You can pick 2 cards. You can pick all of them, whatever you'd like. And then the last card, the Luminaire card, I think it's Lumera. That one will just be able to go. Michael says number 2. Awesome. So basically, that last one will go with all of them. So it's like an extra bonus card. I'm a, I don't know why, I'm a cutter. So a cutter as in cutting the cards, not the other way. So card number one, I'm shaky. Ideal course of action, guys. Look at the pretty colors on these cards. I love these cards. I love these cards. Now, when you're looking at this, the ideal course of action card, it's good morning, Miss Deb. I will tell you what, when I'm looking at this card, it's, you're looking at what do you have to do in life? What do you need to do? Where is your goal? Okay. As you see this lady, she's really close to us. She's got a lot of ideas. She's got a lot happening around her, but she's got a place that she wants to go to in this card. Okay. And literally what she's planning her course. So you really need to stop and think, where is my direction? Where do I want to go and how am I going to get there? Now, I did talk about, for myself, I'm not a huge planner, and that's fine, but I do have an ultimate goal. I do have an ultimate goal. And I need to look at what is really the best course of action for you to get there. So think about that. Put some time and some ideas into that. Now, you know what? If you picking, getting down to the details works for you, great. For me, I have to put more broader and then work my way towards that. But if you pick number one, you are the ideal course of action card. Number two, we're looking at the big picture. We're looking at the big picture, guys. And if you pick number two, I think you need to stop. This is for you, Michael, and everybody else that picked number two. You need to start looking at the big picture. Stop looking at the small details. Stop looking at the little hiccups in the road. Stop thinking those little hiccups are not getting you where you want to be in life because they really are. But look at the bigger thing in life that's happening for you. So if you look at this card, it's magnificent because it is an angel. She's glowing, she's gorgeous, but it is the earth. It's all of it. She's looking at all of it and the growth from the earth and sending energy to it. It is just it's so huge. So if you have a bigger goal, a bigger thing that you want, literally just start sending energy to it and see how it grows. Okay. God, I'm still shaking. Look at me. I'm like too much decaffeinated tea this morning. Oh my God. Number three, guys. Number three. We have got celebrate your differences. I love this. God, I love all these cards. The illustrations are phenomenal. Celebrating your differences. I like this. You know what? This would have been my card for life, for life. Only because I don't know about you, me growing up, I've always been different. I've always been somebody, trying to be somebody I'm not. And it's so funny because somebody commented on one of my posts over this weekend and said, I'm so happy you finally know who you are. You like you. And I'm like, God, I love me. And it is celebrating what I am different from everybody else. I mean, I'm not the same. Heck, my name is DeEtte. I'm unique. I'm one of a kind, darling. And so aren't you. Okay, so aren't you. So you need to look at your differences and start celebrating those instead of saying, oh my God, I'm not this, or oh my God, I'm not that. And celebrate your uniqueness because that's what's making you special. Oh, if you picked number four, it's your time for adventure. Oh, I love it. Deb says that's the card she picked. Authentic self is so beautiful. It really is, Deb. So number four I picked is the adventure card. I love this card. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Who doesn't want to sleep in a seashell? Oh my God. But where are you going towards? Now, adventure doesn't always mean just going on a journey. It doesn't mean like picking an airfare and going on your way. Adventure really is about you and your soul and where it's going. Okay, where it's going. So, like as you see in this card, you've got a mermaid in a shell and she's looking at everything else. She's looking at the adventure, what her life has been. She might be looking at where she's living, where she's going. But that's what this is about, your adventure. What is your personal journey? What is your personal journey and what do you want to do on it? You don't have to leave even your couch to make that happen. You don't have to have a million funds to be able to do this. Your adventure is all about you. Okay. And number five, contemplation. Oh my God. And these cards just kind of cool. I mean, anybody that picked all five together, you banked it here. Number five is contemplation. Okay. So if you were picked number five, you really are in a time of thought. You're not quite to the point of moving forward yet, but you are in a time of thought and you're trying to put this together to work at what is it you want to do? Where do you want to go? The sky's the limit. The stars are the limit. and you can have it all. And you're just sitting back thinking, you're at the beginning of the journey going, oh, what do I want to do? Or maybe you're in the middle of it going, oh, what do I want to do next? But you really are in a point of contemplation, of thinking of what more can I do? Okay. So number one was ideal course of action. Number two was the big picture. Number three was celebrating differences. Number four was adventure. And number five was contemplation. And it's awesome because literally if you put all of those together, you really are looking at like, okay, this is my goal. This is my goal. And within that goal, I have to see what's the bigger picture of where I'm going towards. So I can't just look at the little things on the way to the path. I need to look at what's the big picture. What am I going to get from all of this? And through that, you really have to start to celebrate who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you're never going to make it to that goal. And what makes you stand out from everybody else? What makes you different? And that's the amazing things of that. And all this really is an adventure if you think about it. I mean, you have to sometimes look at this because sometimes that bigger picture is kind of scary. But if you break it down to this is just an adventure, this is a lifetime of fun and everything else, it's awesome. And once you finally figure that out, it's time to start contemplating and putting that together. And it's time to really go, oh my God, where do I want to go in life? What do I want to do? Now that I've gotten over all the other stuff and I've seen the bigger picture and I know where I want to go and I know who I am and I'm ready to do this and I'm ready for this adventure called life. Okay, let's put this into action. Let's think about this. So if you picked all of them, you want the full reading, there you go. So with the last card, the clarification card that brings it all together, guys, all together. Let's pick our beautiful card. Ooh, it's beautiful. Oh my God, my granddaughter would love this. Um, I love the outside because it is. And oh my God, this card's awesome already. It is a mermaid, and you see all that light coming from her. It is let's bring it closer. Shine your light card. Ta-da! I can't make this up, guys. You see me shuffle. The shine your light card, and it clarifies with all of these, is no one can do as you can. Yet, we sometimes feel that we need to be a certain way, a way not aligned with our authentic self. It takes discipline to do what we love, especially if we are natural givers. It is easy to get caught up with other people's lives. Tending to our own needs tending to our own needs harms none. And we will have a lot more to give. It's a time to collect our light and shift the vibration here on earth, starting with our own inner being sense of being. You are a souvenir. You are a sovereign, sorry, souvenir. You are a sovereign being. Regain compassionate empowerment and remember what lights up your world. It's pretty awesome, huh? You are a sovereign being. Regain compassionate empowerment and remember what lights up your world. That's awesome. Now I know why Spirit said use these cards. Because I'll tell you what, I was doubting, but we can put that with every one of these, can't we? Or it stands on its own. What an amazing, amazing thing to be. So I hope you enjoyed that reading this week. I'm really, you know what, this week, I did a live last week, guys. I'm going to start doing more lives this week and see where I go with those, okay? I'm just going to, I shouldn't say find the time. I just have to make the time, really. And so you'll be able to see me more on different modalities. Maybe I'll even figure out the Instagram thing and show up there. Who knows? With that being said, though, I do want to talk a little bit more. Next week, we have some amazing shows coming up. Amazing, amazing, amazing shows. Gosh, all of a sudden I feel like I need to just slow down, take my time, put my life back together here because life is going to be awesome. Because next week here, I got the schedule book out. I don't have one show. I have 2 shows next week. 2 shows. On Monday at the regular scheduled time, I have got Rod Thompson from the Ghost Finders. Rob, he's a spiritual medium. He's flipping amazing. He's one of my BFFs. He's just a rock star. He's also one of my business partners. He's just phenomenal, and I cannot wait for him to come on and just share where he's going, where he's been. If you want to know who Rob is, a little bit more about him, you can literally go to Rob Thompson Spiritual Medium and check him out there. You can go to the Ghost Finders. You can find that is the longest streaming paranormal show on Roku and Spirit Channel. Um, we also have, he's also been on A Haunting recently, the TV show A Haunting. He was on it a couple of weeks ago. So just an amazing person. Following him up, the second show, the special show, that'll be Tuesday. It's a special day. I need all of you to show up. I'm already starting to advertise this week. I'm hitting it hard and heavy. I'm going to put it out there. I want you guys to share. I want everybody to share because I want everybody there. But I have Miss Lisa Williams coming on. She is my mentor. She's amazing. She has become such a good friend. She is my boss. She is flipping phenomenal. I can never say enough about her. And she's a world-renowned international psychic medium. She is a two-time, yes, very much hoot hoot, Michael. She has got 2 TV shows. She's been, you know what? She is personal friends with the Osbournes. Okay, come on. She is just a rock star, not only in her own right, but in every right. And anybody that's out there, please come on and enjoy the conversation that I'm going to have with her as much as I enjoy her. Okay. Um, and with that being said, I put my book away. I want to let you know some other things. I want to let you know where I'm at. I want to let you know where I'm at. So this weekend, you will find me in Wausau, Wisconsin. Wausau, Wisconsin, at the Quality Inn, and that is with the North Woods. Um, I think they're called Mind Body Spirit. I apologize, Jessa and CJ. Um, I'm just not there in my head right now, am I? Oh my gosh, I'm just screwing this all up. And as you know, then I get my phone and go, what am I doing? What am I doing? So it's they're held by the Northwoods Health and Wellness. It is Mind Body Spirit Fair. I wanted to make sure I got that correct. It is at the Quality Inn, and that's at 2901 Hummingbird Road in Wausau, Wisconsin. Come by, say hi. I will tell you what, you guys are rock stars in that right, because this is what happens. This is what happens, guys. And you guys are mind blowing me. I'm letting you know where I'm at. And you guys are showing up to give me hugs and say hi. I am blown away by that. I am blown away by that. You make me feel so incredibly special when you do that. I can't even tell you. So please take a moment. If you're in the Wausau area, stop by, say hi, give me a hug. If you want a social distance, wave at me from afar. I'll take whatever. I will take whatever. I just really, really appreciate when you guys show up and just say, hey, I listened, because you know what? It gives me a reason to keep doing this. It does. I mean, some days I go, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then somebody shows up to go, oh my God, I listen to you all the time. And it mind blows me. It just mind blows me. And I thank you so incredibly, so much. And I can't wait to continue to do this for another year or 5 years or however long Todd will have me. So that's where I am at this weekend. So far, that's all I'm planning. I mean, I got a lot of things coming up, guys. You're going to find me literally. I'm doing a journey across the nations this year. And what that means is you're going to find me in March. I'm going to be in Ohio. I've signed up to do Vulture City in Arizona. I'm doing a retreat with Kelly Brickell in September in Arizona. I'm doing it, me and Missy are going to talk about doing a retreat in Tennessee. Rob and I are looking at doing a tour across the nation, starting on the East Coast with psychic mediumship mediumship galleries. So much coming on, and we're just going to hit the nation this year. I'm just going to hit the nation, like, let's go, let's do this, let's build. And it's just going to be mind-blowing awesomeness. So, and thank you all for being a part of this journey. Now, as always, feel free to share this live. I do understand, if you share it, it's almost over. It's okay. People will still watch it off your page. I'm going to say, if you're watching it, do, hashtag replay, so we know that you're there and that you're watching it, and that, we have a reason to keep going. Let me know if there's a subject you want to hear about, because I will do what I can to literally go find somebody that does that. Okay. I will do what it takes to find somebody that comes on and do this. Oh, Michael. Oh, sorry you have to run, but thank you for staying with me all day. Thank you for that. And you have an awesome day too. But please take a moment, everybody, and share this. Please share it. Let us know you're there. Let's get this. Let's build this. As always with the station, we are growing. We are always growing. There's always a place for you, though. Todd has rest assured me there is a couple more spots for a couple more shows. Okay. and to go forward with it. So if you want to have, if you have a voice, if you have something you want to talk about, please reach out to Todd. Go to the WLTKDB.com and tell him I have an idea. I want to do something, and he will do everything he can to, to get it on board and get us rocking with that. I also want to bring up our station channels of what's going on because uh, they always want me to upgrade, don't they? They always want you to upgrade. Do to do. I need to figure out which way I'm going in life. Here it is. I'm fine if I go to Google Pictures, so much easier than I do anything else. But I want to talk about the current lineup of shows, okay? So our current lineup, as you know, Monday mornings, we start with myself, 9 a.m. with Schooled Thru Spirit, which I love it. Next week, again, I have 2 shows going. Tonight, Christina Bloom will be on with Be the Change, and she's on at 8 p.m. On Tuesdays in the evening, we go to New Bridge Radio, and that's with Kevin Mackey at 7 p.m. We used to have Haunted Voices, but Todd and Cole are going to take the summer off and wait until fall because Todd went back to school because he's a rock star. But then at 10 p.m., we do have Paranormal Pete with Pete Orbea. Wednesdays coming soon. I can tell you the exact date. I'm not quite sure. I'll tell you when we get closer to it. But Kelly Brickle, oh my God, my numerologist that you all know on the show. She is starting her own show, The Psychic Hour, and that's with Kelly Brickle. Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m., we have got Missy Hart and Nicole Ford, and they are Over the Target. On Thursday evenings, we have got at 7 p.m. Realm of Darkness with Renee Rodriguez and Ashley. That is a true crime show, guys. Awesome show. After that, 8 p.m. is the Afterlife Chronicles with Nicole Strickland. And then Friday evening, we have 8 p.m. Secrets Within with Renee Rodriguez. All of these are rock star shows. And you know what? You're already noticing every year, every 6 months, I'm talking more and more shows, aren't I? So Todd has always told me, "Oh, I'm almost at my limit," and I'm like, "Oh no, you're not. You're a rock star. You got this." And we just keep building. With that being said, though, hey guys, um, you need to literally come to us for all of your marketing needs. As you see, we do very much of a lot of advertising through the show. You can, again, go to the WLTKDB with Todd, and Todd can help you, create your own commercial, create your own advertising. It's really a good cost for that. It shows throughout the week, throughout our shows, but it also goes into the podcast form with us. So we don't exit out of those commercials just because it turns into a podcast. So those breaks are still in our podcast. Your commercials stay in the podcast. So yes, you're paying for the current, but it stays with us forever. Okay. With that being said, you can find me also on my website, www.DeEtteRanae.com. You can go to Facebook, DeEtte Ranae Psychic Medium, Instagram, anywhere. Google me, guys. Google me. You'll always find a place. You're all in my heart forever and ever, and I appreciate you always for showing up and being with me. But this is DeEtte Ranae with Schooled Thru Spirit on WLTKDB, and I'll see you next week with Rob Thompson.